Take one. Say hi, Keith.
Hi, Keith.
Keith, I want you to introduce what is happening here.
Well, this is my attempt to help people that have got MND, just diagnosed or have had it for a while and don't really feel that they can do much about it. Everybody can do something about it. You can still have fun, you've just got to get the right support. It's out there. What I'm going to try and show over the next year, if I'm up to it, is the kind of fun that can be had. We're going to do sporting events, we're going to do interviews with fundraisers for the MNDA. That's the Motor Neurone Disease Association. Got different names around the world. It's Motor Neurone Disease in the UK. It's ALS in America and some parts of Australia. It's Lou Gehrig's disease. It's all the same thing. It's a disease that kills the neurons in the brain and the spine that causes muscles to die. It causes all the muscles in the body to die eventually, but they progressively die in no particular order. We've got some people like Professor Stephen Hawking, who's lost pretty much every muscle in his body. We've got some superstars like Sarah Ezekiel, and her condition seems to have frozen at a point where she's still got some level of breathing control, but the rest of her body has died. There are all sorts of people with all sorts of levels of this disease. The one thing we do know, even today, with all of our technology, 66% of people that are diagnosed with MND are dead within 14 months. A very small number actually get to live for over a decade, but that's a very, very small number. The vast majority, over 88%, are dead within 5 years. I don't intend to be one of them. There's too much to do. Just add me to the list.
Woo!
Of people that MND is not going to take.
You got it, Keith. Just add him to the list, he says. Just add him to the list.
I've had a good life. I've done loads of stuff. I said when I was first diagnosed, I fitted into my life 2 lifetimes worth of stuff. I'm not done yet. Funny though, there is another condition associated with MND. It's only just recently been associated. It's called frontal temporal lobe depression. And it affects the emotions of somebody in a very similar way to Alzheimer's, which is also connected in a way to MND. Lots of overlapping research areas. But it affects the emotions in such a way that sometimes you feel overwhelmed. I'm not really an emotional person generally, but it seems that ever since I've been developing the latter stages of MND, I've either become a wimp or more in touch with my emotions. You be the judge. But the important thing is, I know there is a lot more ahead. Granted, there's more behind. I'm 52 years old, for God's sake. I'm unlikely to live to over 100, so there's bound to be more behind me. But what's ahead of me is another journey. Another however many days where I can make a difference. There are people out there who haven't got the level of support that I've got. I've got an incredible team of carers behind me. I've got an amazing team of physicians and nurses that are supporting me. My MND team at Preston, Pauline and Sam, have slowed this disease down to the point now that any change in my physical appearance is minimal. Every change in my breathing is noticed and dealt with. I was fortunate in that I tolerated an NIV, that's a non-invasive ventilator, very early on in my diagnosis. And that's enabled me to stay on top of the diaphragm death. We are determined over the coming months and maybe years to show that anybody who's been diagnosed with motor neurone disease, if they're given the support and it's out there, if they get that support, they can still have a life. There have been recent conferences highlighting appropriate levels of care. With the way that the Tory government is slashing the budget, we're unlikely to ever get appropriate levels of care, but good levels of care can be achieved if you fight your corner. I'm going to do some videos to help people understand what their rights are, what's available to them and how to get them. And I've got a whole bunch of professionals who are going to help me show a diagnosis of MND doesn't have to be the end of the world. It can be the start of a journey.
With 1 minute to spare as well?
Okay. Click it.